We're not talking about critical race theory and all these other things that people are kind of crazy about now.
Yeah.
It's just talking about just fundamentals, like interacting with somebody from a different culture, personal respect. So that's what this community does, this organization does. They give schools and educators tools to kind of educate children on race relations.
Yeah.
And for us, that was like huge because like it's not going to change with us because most of our generation sadly, people have made their mind up about a lot of things. But if we're going to change anything, it's going to start with kids.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. I mean, that's what I was making a joke. I was like, we just got to wait all these fuckers out. Like, they're going to die in about 20 years. You know what I mean? Like,
these crazy Supreme Court justices and all these, like, crazy right-wingers and other people who have insane policies. I'm like, they're going to die eventually, which is a bad way of looking at it, but it's just the truth.
Yeah, and then we're going to,
You're going to have a bit more progressive policies. I mean, we just had an election in Virginia. In Virginia, we got a Republican governor now.
Yes.
But that's only because it's a lot of times it's hard to get young people to go out and vote and do these things because they can't see the direct impact. And when I was in university, like I would do canvassing, so I would go door to door and try to get people to vote. And during election day, you would always see it's mostly older people who vote. It's hard to get young people because they can't understand the correlation of your state election has more impact on your life than presidential election, truthfully. Because you're talking about all your taxes, where education money is going, roadway projects, all these things that impact your life on a day-to-day basis, that's from your state elections.
Yeah.
But people always think presidential, and that's how we lose power because we can't motivate our bases or motivate our people. Because at the end of the day, most of these policies affect minorities.
Yeah.
We're always affected by it. Not anyone else. Like our lives are going to change drastically when you take funding away, when you do gerrymandering, you do redistricting and all this crazy shit. It affects us, our people. Yeah. And we're impacted the most because they're like, oh, they're short-sighted, they can't see it, but people on the other side, they see the grand scheme. As long as your name has an R next to it, they're going to vote for you.
Got you. Man, in thinking about this whole thing and where we're going, how would you say the best way for anybody that wants to get involved to get involved?
I would say find the cause and the things that resonate with you, and then harbor onto those things and find charities and organizations that directly impact your community. Because there's no broad blanket for causes and things that for everyone. For me, recently I've been kind of focused on mental health, within the chef community. And what can I do to give people and tools in our community to better themselves? You have to think about what is important and what's going to impact people around you. This is my life. This is what I do. Basically every single day, and I've seen the effects with COVID it had on people's health and even me personally, so that was an important cause to me.
Yeah.
So like, just do your research, do your due diligence. We have Google, we have all these resources out there. You can do an impactful statement within your community. It's just, you got to step up.
Yeah.
Too many times people create excuses. Oh, I'm too busy. I don't have this or that. It takes 5 seconds or 10 minutes of your time just to do a little good.
Yeah.
Life,
Got you. It's funny with the Instagram, there's like that fine line of like, are you posting it to raise awareness or are you posting it for the likes and the whatever?
So I always think about that because like when the J. Cole song, he said, are you doing this to facilitate growth or are you doing this to become famous?
Yes. 100%. That's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people fear living a life of inequity and wasted virtue. And they're like, oh, but if I post this, it shows I'm a good person. I'm doing this. I'm doing that.
Yeah.
But you're not actually doing the work. You're just putting on a facade and you're gaslighting people.
That's why I don't edit the show.
Yeah.
Because the way I see it is like, I want my mistakes out there.
Yeah.
I want my uncertainties out there. I want insecurity and live in the embarrassment. That's where I'm at. Like, fucking see me. Just see me and you can see everything.
If you're your true authentic self, what do you have to hide?
Exactly,
right?
Exactly. And, unfortunately, like, to grow a business now, just like I was talking with Homeboy over there, he's like, well, my parents, they have this great food, but they don't have a social media presence or they don't know how to do that. And, like, it's like almost like you need it now. And why not? It's free.
It's pay to play to a degree because, you gotta think about it. Social media and YouTube and all that stuff is everything with the new generation of people and chefs. A lot of people get information from TikTok. Like I refuse to have a TikTok, but I understand the importance of TikTok.
Yes.
We have one. We have a social media team here that does a lot of stuff. I take a lot of pictures of food and give it to them. They do the verbiage. They'll come in and do videos. It's important.
At the end of the day, it is important because, like, there might be a young chef right now in Puerto Rico that's like, man, I really want to move to the States and learn how to cook. Yeah. Where do I go? You know, and you don't know where to go. Like I said, like I'm sometimes I'm almost ashamed that it took for you to win a Food and Wine thing for me to know about you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, why the fuck?
Because we don't really talk about. I think we don't really talk about a lot of people who are just like, doing different things in society. You know? You think about. I had a good talk with one of my friends about reaching beyond your dreams. You think about Misty Copeland. She was like one of the first black ballerinas who were just like killing it. Yeah. You know, and if she was always tied down to like, which her upbringing, her growing up, she probably would have never done it. You know, and I was very fortunate again to have parents who were like, if you want to do something, do it. We're gonna support you. You don't care, just do it. Follow your passions, follow your dreams. We don't care. Yeah. You know,
that's amazing. I mean, it's crazy because like, you know, you grew up with worldly parents that have traveled and been everywhere, and that's such a that's so important. Yeah. But when you live in these small communities of closed-minded people, like Meriden, fucking Connecticut, where the education is like, all right, well, you get out of high school, you got to go to college, okay, be in debt, all right, now you need to buy your house, okay, more debt, and then you need to fucking, you know what I mean? It's
you don't have anyone telling you to dream beyond your means.
Exactly,
you know? And that's the thing. There's it's called Plato's allegory of the cave. Yeah. You know, you're stuck in a cave, and you're only looking in the shadows, but you can't look behind you and see the light, and there's so much in the world behind you. Yeah. As long as you step out of the cave, you know.
That's why I think this show is like, it's important that we look back, because I'm sure maybe it didn't happen this time, but I've had conversations before where people are like, I haven't thought about that till this day, and it's like a revelation. Oh shit, you know what I mean? And it's important to know where we came from. Yeah, and that's why that's the reason for this. It's you know, and now this will forever be, you know, and people will go out there and be like, Sucio.Talk, what is that? Yeah. And then they find out about you, and they find out about this other person, and you know, it's been amazing journey to be able to do this. So thank you very much. Of course, and I hope, you know, one day this show reaches everyone. You know, there's 3 billion people in the world. I want to hit at least 1 billion. You know, and
I think it's awesome. Again, you're spotlighting people who are just doing amazing things. Yeah, you know, like Bobby. Bobby is an amazing person, and they're making Laos food that a lot of people in this world haven't had. Exactly. You know? But they're making it fantastic, and they're killing it. Yeah. You know?
And we were talking about that, the situation that happens a lot, because he was like, okay, they didn't know what Lao cuisine is, so we have to name our restaurant a Thai restaurant or a Vietnamese restaurant, whatever it is. And it's just like, I've been in that situation before where I go to a Puerto Rican restaurant that, you know, usually a white person tells me, hey, try this Puerto Rican. I go there, and then it's like, why is there tacos on the menu? Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? Yeah. And that kind of pisses me off, is I'm like,
it's this balance. You have to break perceptions with people, and I've had conversations with so many chef owners and people about this. Yeah. Claudette from California, she was telling me when she opened her restaurant, she didn't want to do tacos, but they're like, oh, you have to do tacos because they sell. She's like, no, I want to do mom-style Mexican food. I'm not doing tacos.
Yeah, you don't have to.
And one of my friends has a Korean restaurant in Baltimore, and it was the same thing. She had she had some of her dishes written in Korean, and the property owner was like, "You don't need to have this in Korean. No one knows what this is. You know, just have it in English and like dumb it down some. Yeah, you'll sell more food." And I was like, "No, because it takes away from what the food is. Oh. Why do you have to curve what the food is meant to be to make people like a little bit more friendly for them,
or comfortable?" No,
they need to learn. People need to learn. You're in a restaurant and you're in for a dining experience.
Make some effort.
And that experience means to learn about someone else's culture that you don't understand. That means being uncomfortable. Then you need to be uncomfortable for a second, and then take yourself out of it and just learn. Yeah, you know.
I feel like a lot of people just don't want to be uncomfortable, because everything is geared towards our comfortability. Every new invention is to make your life easier.
That's a very unique American problem. It's called American Exceptionalism, because it's like we always think we're the best in the country. This is best, and it's like we want our food quick. We want it cheap. Yeah, we have a certain set of parameters that it's like everything has to be like this because I'm American. Yeah. You travel around the world in other countries, people were like more open to trying things and doing things. Exactly. But it's only here we're just so close-minded to be a society that's supposed to be liberal to a degree. Yeah. You know?
We're not. No. It's and it's tough to like we talk about these issues, but at the end of the day, like, we all have a phone. I have a laptop, right? Like, we have all these things that that we use on a day-to-day basis. So it's like a fine line when we sort of navigate these things in life. Like, what is important? What isn't important? You know?
Exactly.
It's like, what are my wants? What are my needs?
Yeah.
Because half the time, I don't fucking know. You know? It's like I wake up every day and I'm like, okay, what is the most important thing that I need to do today? And how am I going to help somebody? You know? How am I going to learn something? I'm going to eat something new today. Fuck, 100%. I'm going to go to Ben's Chili Bowl just because that's DC fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Literally 4 people are like, you need to go there, you know? And now talking to you, you've said some names, and I'm like, where's that? You know what I mean? You talked about Bresca. I just met those guys. I'm going to go there, you know? So it's kind of cool, and I feel like through conversation, hopefully, you know, I can blow this up to the point where we can have panels.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
And have you and Paola and Kwame on there and just talk about this, because as I'm talking to you, you've said some terms that I've never heard of.
Oh, really?
And I want, you know what I mean? Like, because I you know, and I'm like, man, I need to fucking read more. You know, that's what I learned about myself in this half hour. It's like, what are some of those books that you have been reading that sort of opened your eyes to what's going on in society? Like,
so for me, the main thing is I'm a Buddhist. That's been the main driving factor for me. The main change is for Buddhism, the wheels of change are knowledge and growth. So I'm always trying to learn and grow. So I've been reading like a lot of Buddhism scripture and things. The last book I actually read, which is going to sound crazy, was Tina Turner's newest book. It's called Happiness Becomes You. It's like, how do you find happiness when you go through so much stuff in life? And I think as chefs, it's hard to find happiness because we're dealing with so much stuff. There's so much existential forces pushing down on us. You know, you're not just a chef. You know, you're a counselor,
therapist,
you're a doctor,
dentist,
you're a mechanic, you're everything. You're all in one. And it's like we give 99% of our time to our craft. And that 1% of time, how do you find your happiness? You know, and that's been the main goal for me, is trying to find happiness and make sure it's, you know, sustainable, and I'm doing the things I need to do to pour back into my cup so I can pour into other people's cups. Yeah,
for sure. Do you see yourself being with this restaurant group for a long time?
Yeah, I think I'll be here for a while.
Do you think you'll ever branch off and, you know, open your own business, open your own
maybe
restaurant?
I don't know. I mean, there's things I want to do. I know I want to open maybe one day a fine dining Korean restaurant. I want to do a Korean style barbecue place. You know, I want to open a Korean bakery. So we'll see. There's things I want to do. If I can do it underneath the umbrella, and like the team, the owners are very like, you want to do it, we'll help you do it no matter what. You know, so I think I can do the things I want to do with the company and the people, and it helps to have owners who are good people. Who we can have tough conversations at times, you know, but honest conversations with each other, and like interactions, respecting personal time. You know, the past year they learned to, when it's my time off, they don't bother me, which is great. I have a very huge grace that a lot of people don't have. I have autonomy when I'm not here. You know, they don't bother me, they don't harass me, they let the restaurant be. My 2 days off are my 2 days off, and I'm very grateful for that.
For sure.
And we're honest with each other, you know. We have very honest conversations about interactions, you know. If they didn't like something I said, we'll sit down and talk about it. Or, or whatever. We can have tough conversations, and they're not kind of dreadful. They're not. We can walk away, and they feel cathartic, you know. That weight is lifted off our shoulders.
It doesn't have to be that way.
And and the thing, too, is great, I like about this company is, our whole idea is, we want to grow, we want to do more restaurants, but we also want to do some good. You know, we want to start a charity corporation within our LLC currently, so we want to do more charity stuff. We want to be able to eventually pay for healthcare for all of our workers. There's a lot of great we can do, and I'm really excited about that stuff.
Awesome. Well, the idea, you know, for this show in the future is to get cooks paid, chefs paid. So, you know, doing some kind of format where it's like, all right, hey, Angel, we're going to fly you out to Oakland. Here's $1,000 in your pocket. We're going to go out to dinner, do the podcast, and then you can.
I think that's awesome. That's a great.
You know?
There's a lot of like charities and things you do sometimes. You don't do anything. They're like, hey, we'll fly you out. We'll pay for your hotel stay, but you got to cook for 3 nights in a row.
It's like, no, fuck what? That. I want you. I want cooks to make the type of money that I have a cousin who's a tattoo artist.
Yeah.
You know, when I talk to him, he's like, yeah, $2,000 a day. And I'm like, excuse me? $2,000 a day for fucking